Welcome back to Tales from the Dark Room. Tonight we don't just tell a story, we open the coffin of one of horror's greatest sagas, Anne Rice, Sin, the Vampire Chronicle. They say laughter is innocent, until it echoes in an empty room. Tonight we delve into a story that will make you think twice about the toys you keep in the dark. This is Labubu, the Laughing Shadow. Our tale begins at the edge of a dying forest, where a storm rages over the skeletal remains of the Blackwood orphanage. For decades, this place has been a gaping wound on the landscape, a monument to forgotten sorrows. But recently, a new, more sinister chapter has been written in its history. Children from the nearby town have been vanishing. One by one, they disappear from their beds, from their yards, leaving behind nothing but a chilling calling card. A small, fuzzy doll with a grotesque carved grin. A Labubu doll. Enter Mara, a documentary filmmaker with a reputation for chasing stories that others are too afraid to touch. She's drawn to the mystery, to the inexplicable connection between the missing children and this peculiar toy. She arrives at the orphanage, her camera her only shield against the encroaching darkness. The doll she finds waiting for her is not like the ones in the stores. Its fur is matted and damp with rot, its glass eyes shimmering with a disturbing lifelike glint. It's as if something is trapped behind them, staring out. The air inside the orphanage is heavy and cold, thick with the dust of forgotten memories. Broken toys litter the floor like tiny casualties of a long-lost war. But it's the drawings on the walls that truly freeze Mara's blood. Crude, childish crayon sketches depict a smiling creature with big pointed ears and a mouthful of sharp teeth. In every drawing, scrawled in a shaky, youthful hand, are the same haunting words, "He laughs when you look away." Mara sets up her equipment, her professional focus a thin barrier against the oppressive atmosphere. She places the Labubu doll on a rickety wooden chair, turning it to face the corner, a standard practice to establish a baseline shot. As she begins to film, the old building groans around her. The lights, powered by her portable generator, flicker violently. A sudden, distinct sound cuts through the silence. A child's giggle, impossibly close. She spins around, heart hammering against her ribs. Nothing. The room is empty, just as it was before. Shaking her head, attributing the sound to the wind or her own frayed nerves, she returns to her camera to review the footage. Her breath catches in her throat. The doll is no longer facing the corner. It has turned just slightly, and its head is now tilted as if listening. It's closer to the edge of the chair. A cold dread, slick and oily, begins to seep into her veins. It wasn't the wind. That night, sleep offers no escape. Mara finds herself in a nightmare, standing in a circle with faceless children. Their voices are a sibilant whisper, a ghostly chant that slithers into her ears. "Labubu loves to play us to come out, don't look away." The words repeat, an insidious loop, growing louder, more demanding. She jolts awake, sweat-drenched and disoriented. The room is pitch black, but she's not alone. She can hear it. The soft, deliberate scuff of footsteps on the wooden floor. Not heavy adult steps, but the light, shuffling patter of a small child. Her hand fumbles for the flashlight on the nightstand, its beam cutting a frantic path through the darkness, and then it lands on him, the Labubu doll. It's sitting right beside her bed, its glass eyes reflecting the light with an unnerving gleam. They move. She swears they follow the beam of her flashlight. Behind the doll, a more profound horror unfolds. Shadows on the ceiling writhe and crawl, stretching and contorting like living, breathing things, their forms unnatural and monstrous. As the sliver of moonlight filtering through the grimy window begins to fade, the laughter returns. It starts as a single giggle, but quickly multiplies, a chorus of distorted childlike glee echoing from every wall, from the floor, from the ceiling. The sound isn't just around her, it feels like it's inside her head. The very fabric of the room begins to twist and warp. The door she came through vanishes, replaced by a solid, peeling wall. The windows seal themselves with an inky blackness. There are no exits. The only way out seems to be through the laughter itself, a swirling vortex of sound that promises madness. Panic takes over. Mara grabs her camera, her instinct as a filmmaker her only anchor in this spiraling chaos, and runs. She flees blindly through the shifting corridors of the orphanage, the cacophony of giggles chasing her, nipping at her heels. But when she glances at her camera's viewfinder, the screen shows a reality her eyes cannot perceive. There, just behind her own frantic reflection, is a tall, monstrous figure. It's gaunt and shadowy, but its face is unmistakable. It's the grinning, grotesque face of the Labubu doll, stretched into a horrifying parody. The doll's voice, now a layered cacophony of dozens of stolen children's voices, speaks directly from the camera's speaker, a sweet and terrifying invitation. Smile for me forever. In a final desperate act, Mara remembers the small vial of holy oil her superstitious grandmother always insisted she carry. She rips the doll from wherever it appears, her hands screaming in protest as she touches its rotten fur. She smashes it against the floor, dousing the broken pieces in the oil and striking a match. Flames erupt, consuming the cursed object. But as the plastic melts and the fur singes away, a chorus of screams tears through the air. The screams aren't coming from the burning doll. They're coming from her camera. The footage on the small screen begins to replay itself, but the scene is different. It shows her Mara screaming as tendrils of black smoke pour from the burning doll and wrap around her, pulling her, dragging her into the camera lens itself. When the police finally arrive days later, alerted by her worried colleagues, they find the orphanage eerily silent. Dust motes dance in the sunbeam slicing through the grime. And on the floor of the main hall sits Mara's camera, its battery miraculously still alive, its red recording light blinking steadily. They play back the final clip. It's a static shot of the floorboards. For a few seconds, nothing happens. Then, a small, dark shadow detaches itself from the corner of the frame. It walks slowly across the floor, and as it disappears from view, a faint, familiar giggle echoes one last time before the recording cuts out. Every toy has a story. Some just never stop playing. Thank you for joining us in the darkroom. If you have the courage to hear more tales from the shadows, subscribe to our channel and be careful what you look away from.